He walked into my office on a rainy Thursday morning. 58 years old, tired eyes, shoulders a little hunched. You could tell he'd carried too much on those shoulders for far too long. His name was David, and he said something that made me stop what I was doing and really look at him. Dr. Sarah, I don't feel like a man anymore. Not because he was sick, not because he had some catastrophic illness, but because his body, the very thing that once made him feel strong, confident, desirable, had turned against him. No morning erections, no energy, no desire, and worst of all, no one had told him this could happen just from the sugar he had with his morning coffee. He wasn't obese, he wasn't diabetic, he didn't even eat that much junk food, but he had one harmless habit. Every morning, 2 teaspoons of sugar in his coffee, and maybe a donut from time to time. A small dessert after dinner. Nothing bad by most people's standards, but for David, that tiny daily habit was quietly killing his testosterone, silently numbing his blood flow, softly suffocating the last embers of his masculine fire. I see it all the time. Men over 50 who think they're just getting older, when in truth, they're poisoning their manhood one spoonful at a time. It's not just about weight gain. It's about what sugar does to your blood, to your hormones, to your arteries. It's what it does to your spirit when you know something is wrong, but no one tells you where to look. David had seen 3 doctors before me. One gave him a little blue pill. Another told him it was just aging. The third told him to work out more, but none of them asked about the one thing that was doing the most damage, the sugar. C. After 50, a man's body doesn't metabolize sugar the way it used to. It spikes insulin faster. It increases inflammation more aggressively, and it disrupts testosterone production at the root in the testes and in the brain's hormonal signals. Worse, it hardens arteries, not just in your heart, but also in the places where blood needs to flow freely for an erection to happen. So I looked David in the eye, and I asked him something no one had dared to ask. When was the last time you felt fully like yourself? He went quiet, and then barely. Above a whisper, before I got tired all the time, before my wife stopped looking at me like she used to, before I needed a pill to feel anything. That was when I knew David didn't need another prescription. He needed a detox, a reset, a path back to the man he once was and still could be. We didn't do anything radical. We didn't starve him. We didn't give him testosterone shots. We simply started with one step, quitting sugar for 21 days. No refined sugar, no sodas, no desserts. Just real food, real fuel, real discipline. And something incredible happened. By the 10th day, he started waking up with morning wood again. By the 15th, his energy came rushing back. Not the caffeine energy, but that old school vitality he hadn't felt in years. By the 21st day, he said something I'll never forget. I looked at my wife last night, and for the first time in a long time, I saw that look in her eyes again, like she saw a man, not a patient. That's what this is about. Not perfection, not a six-pack, not some Hollywood fantasy, but reclaiming your place as a man, strong, grounded, desired, and alive. And it all started with letting go of something that was never serving him to begin with. So if you're listening to this and thinking, this might be me, I want you to stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to tell you what sugar really does to a man's body beyond the belly and the scale. I'll walk you through the invisible chain it wraps around your hormones, your confidence, your manhood, and I'll show you how breaking that chain isn't just possible. It's necessary if you want to live the next 20, 30, even 40 years, feeling like a man who is still very much alive inside, because David isn't an exception. He's a reminder that it's never too late. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and recognized the man staring back at you? I'm not talking about your face or your hairline or the wrinkles that time gently etched on your skin. I mean the fire in your eyes, the quiet power in your posture, that sense of I know who I am, even if no one else sees it, because too many men lose that dot. Not all at once, but gradually, one tired morning at a time, one skipped workout, one dessert, one compromise. And before you know it, your body starts whispering things your mind doesn't want to hear. No more desire, no more strength, no more control. But what if I told you those whispers are lying to you, that the man you were confident, strong, virile is still there, buried under habits you didn't know were stealing that from you? You see, what happened with David isn't rare. In fact, I'd say it's becoming the norm. And sugar. Sugar is the silent saboteur. It doesn't just raise your blood sugar. It hijacks your hormones. It spikes your insulin, which in turn suppresses testosterone. It increases aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. Yes, you heard that right. Estrogen in men. Sugar makes you soft, not just around the waist, but in the very places that define your masculinity. And yet we're surrounded by it. Breakfast. Cereals marketed to active seniors. protein bars packed with hidden syrups, low-fat yogurts that do more harm than good. It's everywhere, and most men don't even realize the enemy is sitting on their plate. But you do now, and that makes you dangerous. Dangerous to the lie that it's just age. Dangerous to the cycle that wants you tired, medicated, and defeated. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take a deep breath, and if this is resonating with you, if some part of your body or your spirit is saying she's talking about me, then say it, out loud, even if you're alone. Say, I'm still a man, and I'm taking myself back. Because the moment you say it, your body listens, your brain shifts, and your heart, your hormones, your blood, they begin to remember what it feels like to fight for you again. And hey, if this conversation has touched something in you, I want you to tell me. Leave a comment, not because I need the attention, but because another man might read your story and finally wake up, say something like, that's me, I needed this. I quit sugar today. I still have fire in me. Whatever your truth is, share it. Because this isn't a YouTube video. This is a movement, and every man who joins it strengthens the rest of us. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. Not because it's a trend, but because this is a space made for you. A place where your age is not a limit, where your desire is not a joke, and where your health is your legacy now. Let's go deeper because I promised you the truth, and I won't hold back. In the next part, I'll show you exactly what happens in your body from your brain to your groin when you remove sugar for just 7 days. I'll walk you through real changes in blood flow, nitric oxide, and testosterone levels. Not with scary medical charts, but with real, raw insight, because you deserve to understand your body. You deserve to feel in command of your manhood again. And it starts with a decision, just like David made. So let's keep going. Let's strip the lies. Let's rebuild you one step, one truth, one day at a time. Let's talk about the body, not in abstract terms, not like a medical textbook. Let's talk about your body. The one that's been through years of work, stress, sacrifice, maybe even shame. The one you might feel has betrayed you lately because the truth is, it hasn't betrayed you. It's been protecting you the only way it knows how, by adapting to survive. And sugar. Sugar is the enemy it's been trying to fight off. While you weren't even aware of the war. Now let's go back to David, 10 days into quitting sugar. He called me and said, Dr. Sarah, it's the weirdest thing. I'm not even doing anything different. And yet I feel younger. Like my body isn't dragging anymore. He wasn't hallucinating. There's a reason for this. And I want you to understand what happens when a man finally lets his body reset. Within the first 72 hours without added sugar, your insulin levels begin to drop. That means your blood stops spiking and crashing. Your energy stabilizes. Your inflammation markers begin to lower. Your brain begins to reawaken. By day 5, your liver starts flushing out the buildup of excess glucose and toxins. That fog you've been living with, it starts to lift. You feel clearer. Your thoughts, sharper. By day 7, something remarkable happens. Your testosterone receptors become more sensitive again. And as your insulin resistance improves, your body reopens the natural production line of testosterone. Not a shot. Not a patch. Not a pill. Just you, functioning as you were meant to. Even more fascinating, blood flow. Most men don't know this, but erections are a cardiovascular event. They're all about blood, about the smooth, uninterrupted circulation through your arteries and capillaries. And sugar. Sugar thickens your blood, inflames your vessels. It creates tiny blockages that stop that flow from reaching the one place you need it most, your groin. David had no idea. I thought I just needed more sleep, he told me. No, he needed clean arteries, you see. Inside every man is nitric oxide, a gas that helps expand blood vessels and trigger erections. But sugar destroys nitric oxide production. It's the walls of your vessels and narrows the path that blood needs to travel to create a healthy, full erection. And when that's gone, you don't just lose function, you lose a part of yourself. That's what no one tells you. This isn't about sex. It's about identity. The quiet confidence that comes from knowing your body is on your side. And for too long, men have been told to just accept that this is what happens with age. No. This is what happens when no one tells you the truth. When industries feed you sugar in your healthy granola bar, and then sell you pills when you can't perform anymore. But here's the good news, and I need you to hear this. Your body remembers. It remembers how to rise in the morning with energy, desire, and strength. It remembers how to respond to your partner's touch with confidence. It remembers what it's like to feel like a man. You just need to give it the space to do that. David said something on day 21 that stuck with me. I feel like my blood is alive again. Like, I'm not just surviving, I'm moving again. And it's not just him. There's Jason, 61, who stopped eating pastries at work and said his libido returned like a switch flipped. Or Marcus, 65, who removed sugar from his coffee and lost 18 pounds and gained back his intimacy. Or Brian, 54, who said, "I didn't even notice my erections were fading until they came back." These aren't outliers. These are ordinary men who made one decision: to reclaim their health by subtracting one thing. No fancy supplements, no gym obsession, just a commitment to break up with sugar now. Maybe you're wondering, could I really do this? Let me answer with a question. Do you want your life back? Because if you do, even if there's doubt, even if you've failed before, that want is enough to begin, and I'll be right here walking with you in the next part. I'll give you my simple 3-step strategy to make quitting sugar easier than you ever imagined, without counting calories, without giving up joy, and without becoming that guy who eats nothing but broccoli. Because this isn't about restriction, it's about reclaiming. And if you've come this far, it means something inside you is ready. Let's keep going. Let's get practical now, because inspiration is powerful, but action is transformational. And if you've come with me this far, I know you're not just listening. You're ready. Not to turn your life upside down, but to begin with one bold step forward. So here's the good news. Quitting sugar, especially the kind that's draining your testosterone, is far easier than you think. When you know where it hides and how to replace it, you see sugar is sneaky. It's not just in cakes and cookies. It's in your ketchup. It's in that whole grain bread. It's in yogurt that promises probiotics but delivers an insulin punch. And yes, it's in your low-fat granola bars. The ones you thought were helping your heart? That's why David felt defeated for so long. He didn't even realize he was consuming it. So the very first thing we did, step 1, we found the sugar. I had him do something simple. Walk into his kitchen, pick up every product, and read the label. If it said high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltodextrin, glucose, or even evaporated cane juice, it went in a box. That box became the past. And what filled his shelves instead? Real food, real fuel. Things with ingredients you can actually pronounce and cook without a chemistry degree. Eggs, avocados, leafy greens, chicken thighs, nuts, olive oil, Greek, yogurt plain, berries, real ones, no sugar traps, just life-supporting, testosterone-building food. That alone changed everything. Step 2, we built a rhythm. I didn't hand him a rigid meal plan. That doesn't work for men like David or for you. Instead, I helped him create a routine that worked with his life. Breakfast, 3 eggs, sautéed spinach, olive oil drizzle, coffee, no sugar, with cinnamon or heavy cream. Lunch, grilled, chicken, avocado salad, maybe a few walnuts. Dinner, salmon, roasted veggies, a square of dark chocolate if needed. Simple, repeatable, masculine. And within days, he told me something that nearly made me cry. I'm not just eating better, I'm thinking clearer. I feel more like a leader again. That's because food isn't just fuel, it's identity. Every bite you take either builds your strength or feeds your weakness. And for years, David had been accidentally feeding the slow death of his manhood. Now he was rebuilding it one bite at a time. Step 3. We prepared for the pushback. Because here's the truth, and I need you to hear this. When a man changes, especially after 50, the world pushes back. People around you will joke. Oh, come on, just one dessert. You're too old to worry about that stuff. Relax, enjoy life. But what they don't understand is that you are choosing to live again, to feel again, to take control of your body, not because you're obsessed with health, but because you remember who you were, and you're done pretending that a tired, numbed-out version of you is just how it is now. David's friends laughed. Even his own brother said, "What's the point? At our age?" But 3 weeks later, when David walked into a family dinner with brighter eyes, a straight spine, a slow, confident smile, the same brother pulled him aside and whispered, "What the hell are you doing, man? You look amazing." That's when it all shifts, when your results start to speak louder than any excuse, and your very presence becomes proof that being a man never expires. And listen, I know this isn't just about food. It's about power. It's about intimacy. It's about being wanted, not just tolerated. It's about knowing that your body is still yours, and it responds to the love and discipline you pour into it. And yes, it's about sex, too, because men deserve to feel desired, to wake up with desire, to engage with their partner without shame or dependency on pills, and that's exactly what David found. Not a miracle, not a fountain of youth, but a path, a way back. And that's what I want for you. In the next part, I'll take you through the final piece. How to maintain this new vitality for life, even when cravings hit, motivation dips, or life gets messy. I'll also share the powerful mindset shift that keeps men going, even when no one is cheering them on. Because, let's be honest, men like you, you're not waiting for applause, you're fighting to reclaim what no one else can give you, yourself. Let's finish this not just the story, but the part of you that's been waiting quietly, patiently for someone to say, "You're not done," because you're not. Not even close. The man inside you, the one who once felt proud when he walked into a room, who once moved with purpose, who once woke up with energy and went to sleep with satisfaction, he's not a memory. He's a decision, and David made that decision. He didn't wait for his doctor to fix him. He didn't wait for his wife to ask questions. He didn't wait for his body to hit rock bottom. He took one step and then another. And then, another. He quit sugar. He reclaimed discipline. He rebuilt his testosterone. He reconnected with his wife, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and most importantly, he remembered who the hell he is. Now, I want to show you what happens after the transformation, because this isn't a 21-day cleanse. This isn't a hack. This is a new standard for your life as a man. After 30 days, David didn't want sugar anymore. His taste buds changed. His cravings died. His body, now detoxed and alive, was no longer asking for poison. He didn't miss the muffins. He didn't miss the morning donuts. He missed nothing. Because what he gained was power, and with that power came clarity. He started waking up at 6 a.m., not because he had to, but because his body felt rested. He started walking 20 minutes a day. He wasn't trying to get fit, he just wanted to move. His sex life returned with no pills, no pressure, just presence. But the biggest shift? His eyes. When he sat across from me 45 days later, I saw the man he always was, staring straight ahead, no slouch, no hesitation, and he told me something that I'll carry for the rest of my life. I thought I was dying slowly, but it turns out, I was just waiting to be reminded I'm still alive. That's why I'm here. That's why this channel exists. Because you don't need another lecture. You need permission. To take your body seriously. To make health intimate again. To stop settling. So here's your permission. Eat like a man who wants to live. Move like a man who still has purpose. Rest like a man who values himself. Love like a man who knows he's worthy. And never again let a teaspoon of sugar decide how much of a man you get to be. Now, let's be real. There will be days you'll forget all this. Days when you're tired, when stress knocks on your door, when temptation smells like comfort and nostalgia, and in those moments, I want you to remember this voice, not mine, yours. The one that woke up as you listened. The one that said, I still matter. I still have fight in me. So when that moment comes, speak to yourself out loud. I am not a statistic. I am not a weak man. I am not done. I am becoming. And keep becoming. Call to action, but intimate. Not pushy. If this journey stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment. Say I'm starting today. Or David's story is my story. Or just, I'm ready. Because your voice, yes, your voice might be the one that wakes up another man just like you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Not because it's trendy, but because here you're seen. Here your age is not your limit. It's your legacy. Before you go, a PRO My is every week. I'll be sharing strategies just like this, rooted in truth, not hype, backed by science, told with soul. Because men like you deserve more than a prescription. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And I'll be right here, every step of the way. Let's rebuild the man inside you, one breath, one bite, one belief at a time. Welcome back.